Hi. So I've had a lot of questions asked about my ostomy, so I figured I would do a video answering them. These are only the positive questions, so anybody who has asked me negative questions, like why don't I just die and stuff like that, I'm not answering that. That's just incredibly inconsiderate and rude. So the ostomy saved my life. I am grateful for it. So if you're here to get an answer for a negative question, you can leave now. Question 1, can I feel it? The stoma itself has no nerve endings, so if I touch the stoma, I can't feel it. I can pinch it, I can cut it actually, and I won't feel a thing. But if I touch the skin around it and I push on it, then yes, that I can feel. But the stoma itself, no. And the only time that I feel any of my output coming out is if there's pressure behind the stoma and it's pushing on my abdominal wall. Why do I have it? So I have an autoimmune disease that has no known cause, no known cure. It's known as inflammatory bowel disease. And it was violently attacking my colon. I tried different pills. I was on steroids. I was doing a form of chemotherapy known as Remicade. I tried Entyvio. Nothing was working, and it got to the point where I was going to die. Inflammatory bowel disease can kill. It can also lead to certain types of cancer. I was told, by the way, you are being prepped for surgery. Congratulations, you're losing your colon. Yay! That is why I have my ostomy. There's plenty of other reasons why people have ostomies. Some people have them for kidney infections and stuff like that, and in that case, it's a urostomy. That's for kidney and bladder issues. For intestine-related things, it can be IBD, Hirschsprung's disease, diverticulitis, different kinds of cancers. There's a big list of why people can have ostomies. They can affect anybody from infancy up through to senior citizen status. What was my recovery time? This one is a bit tricky because my recovery wasn't typical. Because my surgery was emergency, I had a lot of complications. My stoma wouldn't wake up. I had infections. I had a hematoma the size of, it was big. So I had a perk drain. I had, you can actually still see my scar right there. That's where I had a PICC line with a feeding tube. I had an NG tube. I was in the hospital for a month after surgery. Usually, if you schedule the surgery, it should be 1 to 2 weeks, maximum. But I had, every complication in the book. I even lost my ability to walk. My hair fell out. It wasn't pleasant. But by, I was hospitalized from July 13th to September 12th. Surgery was August 10th or August 11th, can't remember. And by Thanksgiving, I was up and walking and back to me. So if that gives you a good time frame, even with a bunch of complications in a couple of months, I was back up and moving and doing my thing. Can I work? That is also a weighted question because when I was insanely sick, I was put on SSDI. My IBD made it very difficult to hold down a job because I was in and out of the hospital constantly. I was very anemic, so I couldn't stand for long periods of time. So it was very difficult for me to hold down a job. And I used up all of my short-term disability the year that I had my surgery. So I had to put in my 2 weeks notice in October. SSDI gives you what's known as a ticket to work, where you can work part-time and they tell you how much money you're able to make in a month without losing your benefits. Kind of like a trial to see if you can go back to work. So I've been using that, and I have not been able to fulfill my work duties. And this past May, while I was working, I got injured transferring a resident from her wheelchair to her bed. So I haven't been able to work anyway. I was pushing through it. I got injured in May, and I worked June, July, and the first week of August. and August 18th I required surgery due to the injury in May, and I have not worked since, and it is now December. But I have the okay to return in January, so I'm going to try again. I can work up to 9 shifts a month, so hopefully I'll be able to go back. What foods do I avoid? So with an ileostomy, there's a list of foods that are very problematic and you should probably avoid. Whole nuts are one of them. If you want to eat like peanuts, cashews, almonds, you should probably get smooth butters. Otherwise, it's very difficult to chew them down well enough to have them come out properly. Foods with skins if they're not cooked, so like apples and raw vegetables and stuff like that, I have to cook them or peel them. I can't have raisins, I can't have like cranberries, stuff like that. Those are just, there's no point. I'm not going to peel a raisin, I'm not going to peel a grape. Anything that is difficult for a person with a functioning colon to digest is not going to play nice with me. So those I avoid. Can I exercise? Yes, but I have to watch with the abdominal work. You're not supposed to do sit-ups, crunches, like heavy-duty ab work. I was super brilliant and I did 10 sit-ups trying to get ready to go back to work between October and February after my surgery, and I wound up giving myself a parastomal hernia. So now I need to take care of that as well. It's too small to operate on, and honestly I don't want surgery for that because of the issues with mesh, and it's honestly not that big. I can push it back in and it's fine. But I can walk, I can swim, I can hike, I can run. I can do anything as long as it's not heavy-duty ab work. I'm pretty sure once the abscess issue is taken care of, I'll be able to at least try something more complex, I guess you could call it. But yes, I can exercise. Can I sleep on my belly? Yes! A lot of people with ostomies think they cannot sleep on their belly or on whatever side their ostomy is on. Yes, you can. I have what is known as a stoma shield. There's also stealth belts. A lot of things that you can use to protect your stoma. This is what I wear. I can lay on it, and Stella Von Toots is not affected. My cats can also lay on me, and I don't have to worry about them puncturing the bag or anything. So yes, I can sleep on my belly. No, I don't, though. I've never been able to sleep on my belly, but it is possible. Is that like my butthole? Yes, I don't have a butthole anymore. They sewed it shut. So yes, this is where I poop. This is my front butt. Why does the stoma move? It's my intestine. Your intestines naturally move. They expand and they contract, and it just so happens that my intestine doesn't realize it's outside of my body, so it's going to continue to do its little accordion thing as it pushes gas and poop through. Does it smell? The stoma itself, no. The output, that all depends on what I eat and if I use deodorizer, because they do make deodorizer for ostomies, and if I don't have deodorizer, apparently Tic Tacs work if you put them in the bag. I haven't tried that, but it doesn't smell any worse than just a normal person's poop. Do I pee normally? Yes. I don't have a urostomy, so none of that was touched. Does it hurt? No. The stoma itself does not hurt. The hernia does if it's out, if it's like pushed out, that kind of hurts. The abscess hurts. If I have a blockage or a partial blockage, that'll hurt until that passes. Usually I have to drink Coca-Cola or just an insane amount of fluids and not touch any solid food until that passes. But usually, no. My stoma, my ostomy, no. It does not hurt. Why is my stoma so long? This one's asked actually a lot. A lot of people think that I'm prolapsed. I'm not prolapsed. Most stomas are actually maybe this long, if not flush with your skin. Stella is, no lie, this long. I have measured her up against my thumb. Sometimes she's actually, yeah, that's actually She is the size of my thumb. Stella is insanely long. My surgeon did it on purpose to try to avoid leakage problems. The shorter the stoma, the more likely it is that output can get under the bag, under the flange, and then you've got chyme or feces, depending on if it's an ileostomy or colostomy. You have output on your skin, and then the skin breaks down, and it's really not pretty, and it hurts. So he made mine longer to avoid that. And luckily, it has worked for the most part. I've had one leak. That was right after I got my Barbie butt. A Barbie butt is pretty much they sew the butthole shut. For guys, it's a Ken butt, because, yeah, the dolls. Right after my surgery, I could not use my convex bags because of the surgical staples that they put in. I had to use a flat back. Stella's not a fan of flat backs, so she pulled all the way in and then couldn't get back up under the wafer, but I still had output. So all of my output was under the wafer. All of the liquid went everywhere, and then I had a baseball size just patty of solid waste under my bag. Stella was flush with my skin for a good hour. I was trying to massage her back out. It was, ugh. But that's been my only leak. Longer stoma for the win, I guess. So did I name it? Yes. I named it Stella Von Toots. I originally named it Stella, and then I saw how popular Stella is. I wanted it to be kind of unique. I didn't realize. So I added Von Toots to the end of it. Why do people name them? I named mine to kind of cope with everything, to kind of make it less scary after surgery. I'm not sure why other people name them, but that's why I named mine. And now Stella Von Toots is my little buddy. She's my friend. Stella's my lifesaver. So, and then it's fun too because, if I'm in, a restaurant or something and I have to excuse myself, I just say I gotta check on Stella. They don't even know I have an ostomy, so it's a really nice kind of code as well. Have I ever thought about the BCIR or cock pouch? Yes, I have thought about them. They would probably help with the skin issues, and they would probably help with the abscess issue I've been having. I can't find a surgeon near me that will do it, and I don't have the money to travel to a surgeon that will do it. So, and besides, like I said, Stella's my buddy, so for now I'm perfectly fine with the bag. If the time comes where I can afford to get a continent ostomy, then I'll look into it more. But I have researched it, and it does look like a good option. But for now, I'm going to stick with Stella. Why does it constantly poop? It constantly poops because there is no sphincter there. They literally just separated my intestine and stuck it through a hole in my abdomen. So there is no control. I cannot control if I fart, I cannot control if I poop, and I cannot control if any weird noises come out. Just like you can't control if your stomach gurgles when you're hungry, and you can't really control if you have to burp. It's just kind of a thing. Anatomy. Woo. How do I know when to change it? You're supposed to change it between every 3 to 6 days. That's what my surgeon told me. I used to get 7 days out of it until I had my abscess issue. Now I have to change it every other day, if not every day, to take care of the wound site. But usually the skin will get itchy under the wafer, and that's kind of how you know that it's time to put a new one on. But if it's not itchy and you're comfortable, you can probably leave it. Is it permanent? Mine is, yes. I did want it reversed originally, and then I weighed the pros and cons, and then I also found out that I still had active severe IBD in the stump that they had left for reattachment, and I just decided to remove the stump and just keep Stella. If I did keep the stump, it would be reversible. Now there is no possible way. Do I still have my appendix? No. During surgery, a lot of surgeons will remove the appendix because when you go into the ER with any kind of abdominal pain, that's one of the things that they check for first is it your appendix? So they kind of just remove that option completely. So no, I do not have my appendix. How has it changed my life? Oh my goodness. So a lot of people with ostomies before surgery will like go into support groups online or, talk to people about how their disease is making their life miserable. They're in so much pain. They're in the hospital again. It's just a list of negatives a lot of the time. And then after surgery, after they're done recovering, after they're done healing, you don't really hear from them. And I'll be honest, I'm one of them. Unless I'm having an issue, I'm pretty quiet. It's because it's changed my life for the better. Before surgery, I had to do elimination diets because I didn't know what was wrong. I had the wrong diagnosis for so many years. So I was constantly in pain. I couldn't eat this, I couldn't eat that, I couldn't drink this, I couldn't touch that. I was housebound unless I had to go to work. I couldn't exercise. I was just miserable before surgery. And then now that I'm 2 years out from getting Stella in the first place and a year and a half out from getting my Barbie butt, and I'm completely healed with the exception of the complications like the abscess and the hernia. My life has completely flipped. Yes, I still have ileitis and I still have nausea daily, and I do still have inflammation, but it's manageable. I can go out for walks. I can work a whole shift at work without running to the bathroom 20 times in an 8-hour shift. I can play with my cats. I picked up a new hobby and learned how to make teddy bears. I would have never been able to do anything like this. I've also met so many fantastic people that I would have never met if it hadn't been for everything that I've gone through. Stella has made my life... Hey. Hi. Stella has made my life so much better. So much better. Oh my goodness. If you have just had surgery, if you are facing surgery, if you are just in the researching the treatment phase of whatever you have going on, and you've seen that an ostomy is in your future, yes, it is scary to think about because it's going to change your life, but it's positive. It is so positive. If I knew back then what I know now about ostomies, I don't think I would have been as afraid when they said, we need to remove your colon. I would have been like, all right, let's go. OR right now. I wouldn't have cried. I would have just been so ready for it. So, yes, it is terrifying to think about. And when you see somebody with an ostomy, you think, oh my gosh, that just seems horrible. No, it has made my life so much better. And so many other people's lives have been made so much better. That's why you don't hear about the good stories, about ostomies, about J pouches, about any other kind of surgery like this. You hear the bad stuff. Because the people who have the positive stories are out doing the things that they couldn't do before. I am so grateful for my bag. Which is why when people comment on my page and they say things, just nasty, nasty things, I laugh. They have no idea what I've been through. And I don't think they could handle what I have been through. Not even like a little taste of it. And if you are going through anything that leads down this road, you're a freaking warrior. And you're going to get through it. And it's going to be wonderful. So last question that I have been asked. Am I going to upload a video for an abscess update? Yes, I am working on it. I'm changing my bag tonight, and then I'm editing the video, and it's going up. So, that's everything. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. Thanks.